Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so this is a covered patio section here. It has three main walls and a ceiling. Also, we have a sliding door here. We have a fan. We have some light fixtures here, and also you can see some recessed speakers. There's a TV over here, and the main seating area, I believe, is on the left side over here. I might want to just go ahead and move this seating position over slightly. And you know, the chairs and seating positions themselves might be a little bit off, but I think I saw that the chair was a little bit larger than this one. Let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions of the structure itself. So I have 24 feet in this direction from wall to wall, and then I have 10 foot from inside edge here to the wall inside here. I think this is 12 feet longer. Yeah, we have this at total of 11 feet from this wall to the outer edge here, 12 inches I should have said. And then we have a ceiling of 10 feet height over here with a drop. I believe this was 14 inches, something of that nature. Let's just throw that on here because they did mention that, and I want to make sure I address that. So this drop here, you can see I have at 14 inches. And I think that's about it. The fan was a 5-foot diameter fan. I have that placed in the center of the patio itself. So centered from this span to the this area, as well as centered from left to right this way here. I think that's about it. We're just looking at, I believe, just heating up this space here. I'm not 100% certain of that, so I'm going to show you a couple of different things. Let's go ahead and turn off those dimensions and look at what we might do. So the one question they originally had was something in the nature of placing units on the interior and exterior walls. Now these are these are CD6024 6000 watt 240 volt units. You can see that right now I have them at a 12-inch clearance. So when you place them on a wall surface, so right now you can see this bracket here right now, for instance, is on the ceiling or mounted for the ceiling. But when you do mount it on the physical wall side, let me just show this for you here real quickly, hopefully. And we'll go here. We'll change that to 90 degrees. So if we mount it on a wall, we need to maintain that clearance so that it is 12 inches of clearance above the unit. And that's why I don't highly recommend mounting it on the wall surface itself, nor would I recommend it over here, because you can see that this heater really wouldn't fit properly on the wall. The bracket comes a little bit lower than the wall itself at 14 inches. And by the way, this is a scaled drawing here, so these drawing scales are exact with regards to the structure, as well as the heater brackets and heater dimensions and angles of bracket or angles of heaters themselves and stuff like that. So that's what it would look like if you put it on the wall. But however, if you were to change that back and place it, kind of like what I had before, and place it on the ceiling, then you could, let's see if we can do that right, we could move the heaters up that 6-inch distance so that it's not as visible. So that would be, if you were only going to do that, that would be probably my recommendation. However, it's really not my recommendation overall, because you can see here that we have a very, very massive coverage of crossover rays at 30-degree tilts on each heater, and we're not heating up this outer edge as well. You know, this heat ray here does travel. It will continue further, but its ideal footprint of heat is, you know, stops about 10 feet further out from the heater itself. Now, this is infrared light waves. So infrared light waves, they heat mass. They do not heat air. And if you're in that heat wave or that ray itself, you will feel the warmth of the heater, but the air temperature is not changing whatsoever. Hot air, you know, of course, rises kind of like a hot air balloon, let's say, and as that hot air does rise, it will evacuate into the atmosphere, and so you can't heat air outdoors like you do in a convection heating for inside of a house, where you can maintain that air, you know, into the home itself. So this is not my preferred application, but it is one that they had questions, so I'm showing that. And let's go ahead and turn that off, and then let's go ahead and look at something that I would probably prefer, which is to place a unit more in this configuration. Now, I don't have the exact placement of the actual light fixtures. What I do have, let's see if I can show that. This is going to be the center point from what I have to the edge of the wall here. And let's see if we can show that properly. We'll go up here, and you can see I have that at 6 foot. So at 6 foot, would this be the ideal location for the heater itself? No, obviously we'd be blocking the light, and that would be a problem. However, I do want you to see the footprint of the heat. And, you know, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that, you know, heaters, infrared heaters, are very similar to light waves themselves. And if you're not in that beam of light, you're not going to appreciate the absorption of the heat. Just like if you were not in the light wave of the physical recessed light here, you're not going to, you know, if you were standing over here, you're not going to appreciate the light wave of that visual light wave source. So what would I do in something like this, where if that was 6 foot, I would probably want to move this a little bit further in, something like this. And also looking at the clearances below, we need to maintain those clearances below. This is from this edge here to the physical surface of the fan. And by the way, that the true diameter here in that was given is physically right here, this red circle that you see here. So we could move the heater probably a foot in from that position. I'm going to go ahead and move that back real quick just so we can see what an actual dimension. So if we went, let's just go probably try 16 inches actually from that center point, and you can see that that footprint of heat is very good in a position like this. So we're not heating up this chair very well, but overall we're getting a good position. Now we could go something like, move it. Let's go that 16. Try that again. 16, and then maybe we'll go 12. So we're not covering up the speaker. And you can see now we're heating up this space, and we're heating up the majority of this space here. Now we are missing a little bit of room over here. So, would that be okay? It would be okay for just casual seating outdoors, for a small group. Now you can see that I do have this unit over here, and if this was something that you really wanted to do, could you do something like, let's change this to we're going to make this a little bit unique and change this again and go into here, and we're going to change this angle slightly here. I'm going to go with maybe a 20 degree change. Let's see how that works. And I'll go with 20 degrees. See how that looks there. And now you can see that we're covering more of the space over here, as well as these chairs over here. Now I'm going to turn on that clearance below, and again at 20 degrees we could still maintain that 6-inch clearance above. And then if we were to move this over, I'm going to go ahead and show all the geometry so we can get an exact line with regards to the fan dimension that I have. Let's go ahead and move that now to this fan location, which is going to be at 1 foot 3 inches, and we're still meeting the clearances. We're getting good crossover rays over here. Let's turn that off here, and you can see that this would be something, you know, in my opinion, that would work very well for this entire application here. So yeah, and I know that this is not, you know, looking as far as the placement of the heaters are concerned. That's something I look at as well. You know, they're not in exactly the right or distances apart from each other, so would that look better if we placed it over here? Yes, it would look better, more uniform, I should say, and but the heat output wouldn't be the same as far as the footprint of heat. So that's something that you'd have to determine whether or not that's something that you're interested in, the visual look or the actual operation of the equipment itself. Anyways, this would be my ideal application, and hopefully this answers any questions you might have, and I appreciate it very much. And thank you for watching. If you have any questions, or if you'd like to send us your information, send your information into designs@patioheat.com, and please tap the like button, make a comment, ask a question. We're here to answer those, and we really appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day.